Former President Muhammadu Buhari has opened up about his health since leaving office on May 29, 2023. Buhari said his health has improved, adding that he looks better since leaving office in 2023. While in office as president, Buhari was plagued by illness which led to him being flown abroad for medical attention. He handed over to Bola Tinubu after serving his 2 terms as president. Speaking at an All Progressive Congress APC stakeholders meeting at the Katsina State Government House, Buhari suggested that the complexity of being the president of Nigeria affected his health. Those outside the corridors of power do not understand the complexity and difficulties facing Nigeria. My health has improved since leaving office. People who visited me told me I look better than before, he said. Well, this is ridiculous anyways if you have to ask me, but I will not want to make a statement. I would love to ask you, Mr. Ayotom, what do you have to say concerning this?
It's not ridiculous, it's a statement of fact. The first thing that we need to take into consideration is that these are offices of heated pressures, and anybody who wants to aspire to these offices must first of all take into account, in fact not just the person but the entire nation must take into account the fitness of such a person.
Quickly, I'd love to ask you a question. Was Goodluck Jonathan plagued with any illness while he was in office?
There are so many factors. You know, illness can develop at any point in time. We talking about President Buhari, which is the person in contest. I was saying that for anybody to aspire, Nigeria is not a small country. Nigeria is a big country. Africa's the most populated country, and it's still an underdeveloped country by any definition.
Yes.
And the expectations of the people towards government is also very high, and so we expect that anybody who aspires, becomes a candidate, and wins the election, of becoming a president, must also first examine himself, examine his health, to see how fit and proper that person is in terms of health. So health is a major part of, but again, as nature will have it, you can't take, you may not be able to predict what could happen in the life of a particular president. When he came in, he took ill, and at some point, they said this is a Jubril of Sudan. All kinds of narratives were in the public domain. And one sympathizes with him because he can't be alive, and people are saying this is Jubril of Sudan. Fabricating all kinds of lies, to promote their own interests. So it's a thing of joy, and subsequently we need to look at how healthy our presidents are. Even currently, once in a while, there are some discrete foreign trips that are undertaken, and it comes out in the public domain that the current president too is also trying to see how he could, how his health could be managed, during some of those foreign trips. So for President Buhari to come out now to say that his health is better, of course it's natural. These are offices of heavy responsibility and heated pressure. So if you are out at his age, also looking at his age, that was why when you said President Goodluck Jonathan relatively is a younger person. It's a younger person. So, and you also look at the trajectory of these two persons in terms of their working career and history. So when you look at a man that had gone through the pressures of the Civil War, and being a head of states, under the military, and then returned to become a head of states at a president at well over 70 years. You expect that such challenges could come up.
Okay.
It's not really automatic.
All right.
We expect that with the facilities that are available to them, that their health will be well managed.
Okay, so we get the reason why there were consistent foreign trips that they were made in time
of... It's a statement of facts that his health should be better.
Okay.
Currently.
Thank you so much, sir. Quickly, I'd love to get your thoughts on this, Mufasa.
Honestly, I think I have to congratulate the former president, for a man to, come out to say that he's feeling better now ever since he left office. For me, it's a good one for him, But then again, like what Oga said, for somebody who has always wanted to be president, after serving as head of state in 1982 or thereabouts, and he was eager to come back. Perhaps, I'm sure he must have understood the exigencies of office and the pressure that will accompany that office. So for me, I think coming to tell us today that he feels better and all of that, it's just a way to tell Nigerians that if I had known, I would not have ventured into that, that movement.
So why is the seat of the presidency more like what everybody wants to be on, knowing that it needs so much of this responsibility and health problem attached to it? Why does everybody want to be there?
As if there's a health problem attached to it.
And he made mention of so much responsibilities and all of pressure and all of that. And I don't want to say the present administration has also been traveling, like you made mention of discrete trips that has been made on health purposes. We cannot say that, for instance. But if it had so much pressure, why is it really the thing that everybody wants to be on?
Well, for me, I really don't have so much problem with anybody that wants to travel, provided you are doing well for your people in the country, okay? If you want to go and stay abroad and become the president of Nigeria from where you are staying and you are delivering quality leadership to the people, I'm sure a lot of people won't complain.
Okay.
If people are having quality health care, people are driving on good roads, people are having power to run their business, I'm sure nobody will complain. But when you go outside the country to get quality treatment, and whereas the people you are leading are not having anything that is, that will resemble, a good health care, then it becomes a problem. But what I deduced from the position of the former president is just a statement of regret, because if you know before now that you don't have the capacity to withstand the pressure.
But he did eight years.
No, that's what I'm saying.
For the first 4 years, did he not get the...
No, what I'm saying, yes. Okay, now, look, they had issues in his first 4 years in office.
Okay.
That was when he was flown abroad and he stayed almost a year to look after himself.
Okay.
So you knew all this while that the pressure was too much, yet you fielded yourself again for the second time.
Quickly, I'd love to throw this question. Do you think he was really pressured? Due to the fact that the country at that time was, in a way it was, do you think the president the former president was pressured in his position to say his health was affected? I'd love to ask you.
I wouldn't say that he was pressured to the point where his health
got affected.
Was like, I had earlier mentioned that nobody anticipated. In fact, you may not be able to predict what the health conditions would be when you get into office. Of course, man is organic.
Yes.
As you grow older in life, certain things that you didn't take into account from the beginning begin to crop up. But again, the pressures of office, we can't run away from it. That's why I think government puts, at some point, for public servants, you have a retirement age. Having served for 35 years, you retire. And then for public officers, the issue of health, you know, is technically the issue of health. How prepared you are, you know, is also a major factor. Recall that it was during Yar'Adua's campaign that at some point the information filtered out that he wasn't too sound, and his predecessor, which was President Obasanjo, even had to put him on, in fact it was relayed on the national news network, and then asked Umaru, are you alive? Umaru, are you alive? You know, all those things. That shows you the fact that the healthiness of a president is a major factor. But only God ultimately can decide, can determine how healthy and well a person could be, even with improvements in medical science and so on. But for me, this story is positively a good one. It's a good one in the sense that I had always prayed that our presidents should be alive. Even our heads of states, should be alive. Just about 2 weeks ago, we saw them go to France over the Mambila probe before an international court. So if they are not there, who goes to give the account of what happened, or how well and to what extent they know about this project? So it's a plus for the country that is well, is alive, and is also kicking, such that he could be called at any point in time to answer for some of the things that happened under his administration. So,
Mr. Ayotamla, in essence, did you answer my question that he was pressured? Okay, amen. Did you answer? I don't know if you answered the question of if he was pressured while in office. For the past 10 years that he served as the president of the former president of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, we saw the situation of the country while he was the president, and oftentimes when he had foreign trips on health purposes. Do you think the pressure actually really got him, considering the situation of the country?
Well, if you look at the 3 pillars on which his administration, security, economy, and the third one, corruption. So if you look at it and you put the index, of how well this be implemented under his administration, you know whether it was under pressure.
No, but I think sorry to go. I think some of these things they play on the intelligence of Nigerians, because you see, pressure can come in any form, and as a leader, you should anticipate pressure. In fact, it's one of the things that you must put first, consider first, while having that intention to run for public office. If you are not expecting to be under pressure in any time, that means you are not even ready for leadership. Whether you are the president, whether you are a governor, local government chairman, these pressures must come. That is why you must first of all check if you have the capacity, mental capacity, physical capacity, and every other consideration. This is not the time for trying to whip up sentiment and pity. In my initial deposit, I said congratulations to him. He's coming out to testify that
he feels
better when he leaves. About why all the aggravation, why all the desperation. Former President Muhammadu Buhari contested for presidency for up to 4 times before he eventually got elected in 2015. And now you are saying that you feel better now and all of that. So for me, it's just a way to tell Nigerians that if I had known, because of course, corruption that he fought against, it was during his administration that we saw a CBN governor who almost stole the entire country. The economy was something else. So at what point did all these things translate to quality leadership? So for me, it's Nigerians, they are not left now to understand fully. Once it's time for leadership recruitment, we must consider all the major factors that we must put into consideration, so that we don't elect people into office that will come to and begin to sound as though they were forced into running for that
This
office.
conversation would have lingered because I wanted to ask you a question about Nigerians checkmating all of that. If it's a possibility that can actually happen, but I don't want to...
No, but we have a lot of time. You know, we had an offline talk when we were saying about leaders being products of society. How, you know, so the leaders we have is a true reflection of who we are as a people.
Do you think we get that opportunity to checkmate all of that on the leaders?
Of course.
Okay.
You must, people have track records.
How do we...
People have antecedents.
Has any of them actually been the track records that have been put, the track records you're talking about, has anyone been accepted, you know, that Nigerians have put out there? You know, we've had presidents, even I would not want to call names. We know of certain presidents that, you know, there are certain past records that have been brought to the public, and we just talk about them and then it goes back into the door.
The thing is that we have short memories. Me, I must say here that in 2015, I was one of those people who supported former President Muhammadu Buhari, because he had a track record.
So what if he had a track record before he became the president, that he is not fit to be the president at the time, but he still got into that position? Do you think what you're trying to say would have actually been implemented?
Now, he was tested in his first tenure in office.
Okay.
That could have provided a veritable opportunities for Nigerians to understand fully the capacity of the man. Because once you have been tested, whether it's for 3 years or 4 years, your first tenure, and you know, there was nothing significant to show.
Did Nigerians speak up at that time or not?
No, but he was re-elected. So how do you expect Nigerians to speak up? Okay. He was re-elected.
If I may add, you know, it has to do with the leadership recruitment process. When you say whether Nigerians had an option or not, you also know that our democracy is party-based. We have only, it was towards the end of his tenure that for the first time they approved the independent candidature. You know, that in itself has not been popularized with members of the public. Otherwise, our constitution recognizes party-based politics. And once the party throws up a particular candidate, the electorates have little or no option, because it's the party that throws up the candidates. This is our candidates, and they see everybody, combined with our prebendal nature of making sure that we support people from our ethnic groups, we support people from our religious groups. We can't run away from these things, because these are the realities of things that happen. Religion plays a major role in our politics, side by side with
regional sentiments
and so on, ethnic sentiments and so on. So once, and then of course we in Nigeria we talk about rotation, and the rotation has come to stay right from the period of NPN, you know, which was the ruling party as of 79 to 83. In fact, it was then that the rotation of presidency started being entrenched in our body politic, and also governorship and so on. So under that option, it is the parties, once they throw up, and that is why we need to really examine our leadership recruitment process towards making sure that we put in, or we raise square pegs and square holes to man the affairs of this country. This country is too big, and with abundant opportunities for anybody, you know, to trifle with. So we need to look at that, democratize the process of recruitment of our leadership, such that the people have a say. The people have a say.